So we're here at 1FirstGames here and looking at The Boys. So tell us a little bit more about the game.
Thanks for having me, Brian. I'm Josh. I'm one of the co-owners and co-creators of The Boys, This Is Going to Hurt. This is a game that we launched in Kickstarter in 2020, and we're finally able to sell it last year at Origins. And this year we have an expansion pack available for the game that'll launch on Kickstarter later this year. In The Boys, it is a 1 to 5 player race game in which you are taking on the role of a CIA agent unfairly tasked with trying to take down Homelander at the end of the world. You know, pretty easy task, right?
Of course.
However, you don't have to do it alone. At the beginning of the game, each player is going to get to select one of the hero contact cards. Each one has its own unique power and special ability that you can use throughout the game. Once you recruit that character, you'll be able to use that special ability one time. Okay? So your object of the game, once you get your starting hand of resource cards and beta character cards, is to move around the board collecting resources like money, blackmail, and Compound V in order to recruit those characters. So for example, if you were attempting to recruit Lamplighter, you would have to pay the cost, which is 2 Compound V, before you attempt to recruit Lamplighter. Then, with a combination of resources, hit bonuses that you've got from your recruited characters, and your hit dice, you're going to have to match or exceed that 9 HP total. You also need to be on that corresponding color. So each character will have that thumbtack in the upper right hand corner. For beta character cards, you just need to be on one of the purple squares. For the alphas, for example, if you wanted to recruit the female, you need to be on the female spot. Make sense?
Yes.
So, it's a game that has some advanced mechanics, but they're easy to learn and possible to master. The game itself is an in-canon multiverse story, so it can't spoil the comics or the TV show. And that was really important to us too, because there's a lot of people who haven't seen either or both, and we wanted the game to be a game you can bring to board game night and not only teach people about The Boys, but about board games in general. It's a very intuitive game once you get going, but the get going can take a little bit of time. We like to say, like, in the first 15 minutes, you might get through 3 rounds with 3 players. But the next 15 minutes, you could get through 5 or even 10 rounds, depending on the players. Because as you get the feel for it and you're moving around and collecting the resources, the gameplay picks up rapidly.
Okay.
At this convention, we normally sell it for $125 with all of the things included. For Origins, we're going to sell it for $100. So you get the deluxe version of the game, you get all the injection mold miniatures. They don't come pre-painted. I always gotta say that. This was a friend of mine that painted them for me. But you also get the Homelander bust. And these are heavy miniatures. They're not 3D printed or encased miniatures like that. They're injection mold, so they're filled all the way to there.
Awesome.
The expansion pack, which will come out later this year, introduces new characters from the Dear Becky series, which takes place canonically before and after the original comic series. So for anybody out there that is thinking about reading that, if you've thought about reading the comics before, don't pick up Dear Becky yet. It will tell you the entire story in about 17 panels. So you'll have additional characters. You'll have Young Butcher and Puppy Terror, for example, along with new resources like McCollum's Bar and Butcher's Journal, which is the main plot point of Dear Becky. So, this game is available now at 1FirstGames.com. The expansion pack will come out later this year. And then our next game that we just launched on Kickstarter is Inns Outcasts. In Inns Outcasts, which is a very different game, it is a 3 to 8 player bluffing kind of trick-taking game in which you are taking on the role of adventurers coming back from your most successful quest, divvying up the loot. It can pair with any TTRPG, and it can be the first thing that you play in game night, the thing you use in the middle as a palate cleanser, or it can be the last thing you play at game night. Because even at 8 players, you can play this in under 30 minutes. In this game, each player is going to get 12 cards. There's 2 1s, 2 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. Each player then is going to select one of each. So one of the 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, and 6s. Those 6 cards are going to be your hand to play for the entire game. Then you're going to select one of them, lay it face down on your player mat under the current card section, and then in ascending order, you'll go around the table. Did anybody play a 1? And if you did, you'll flip it over and do the reveal mechanic, which is identified here with the eyeball. If someone played a 2 and they're within range, meaning they're 2 players to the left or 2 players to the right, they get to choose if they want to block that player. But only the next sequential number up can block that corresponding number. So in other words, 2s can block 1s, but 3s can't block 1s. 3s could only block 2s.
Okay.
Once that round is done, everybody's going to check to see if they have the corresponding total to end the game of their horde, and if not, play continues. And you'll leave that card in turn 1. So if I had played the 1, that would be my turn 1 card. Then I played a 3, for example. I played a 4. I played a 2. And let's say I played a 5. And I still haven't nobody's gotten to that horde total. Then everybody picks up all their cards at the end of that turn and play continues.
Okay.
But by showing which cards have been played and keeping those out, that's where the strategy comes in. So you've got some ability to say, oh, I remember this person played this card and this card. Maybe I do have a chance to play it without getting blocked. And it's very quick and easy and a fun, quick game to play. So that launched on Kickstarter on Tuesday and will be running for 30 days.
Okay.
And that one you can go to innsoutcasts.com to back us on Kickstarter for that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for showing us what you have here.
Thanks for having us.